Welcome, everybody. Hope everybody had a great Easter today. Let's get the face camera on. It's your boy Shuggy from Shook Earth Media, and today, big day for Walking Dead fans because that's right, it is the season slash series finale of The Ones Who Live, the Rick Grimes spinoff. We waited many years for this show to come to fruition, and now it is finally here. If you guys didn't see, I posted my review earlier today, and we're going to dive into basically all my thoughts. We're going to get your thoughts and opinions because I want to have a conversation with you guys about the whole show. Basically, my overall opinion on this episode, it's mostly positive, but it gives me some questions about this whole series, and I gotta say, overall, it definitely feels like it was rushed. But with that being said, we're gonna say hi to people in the chat. I see Gandalf left a comment here. He hates this episode. He hates this episode, thinks it's a waste of a storyline, and I am inclined to somewhat agree with that. Eric, thanks for coming out, everybody. EJ Wicks, Childhood Videos, thanks for coming out. Eric says, I liked it, don't get me wrong. I feel like they really wasted a good opportunity for a great show, but overall, I'm happy. I agree. I think using this episode to put a capper on the whole CRM storyline that we've been setting up for years and years is a bit underwhelming. It really felt like we had another 3-4 years of this storyline. Major Beal was barely in the episode, but we're going to get into it a little deeper in a second. EJ Wigg says, this is the most perfect early birthday gift ever, and streamed by your boy Shook. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Hey, happy early birthday. Hope you have a good one, man. Plus, I got myself some ZTT content in me. Nice. Appreciate that. It's going to be a good stream. Let's go. Did feel rushed. That is my opinion on it. Hey, Brian, how's it going, man? Brian Akeem's got another great Walking Dead channel if you guys want to check him out. Hey, man, can't stay long. That's fine. Hey, appreciate you coming out. No Commonwealth versus CRM. So this is what I want to talk about, right? I think that the CRM storyline, we've been setting it up across multiple shows. It has been in the original series, of course, taking Rick away. Even before that, they were hinting at it. And then we had World Beyond, 2 seasons of a TV show, and even Fear the Walking Dead had cameos by CRM soldiers in the episodes. And we've been setting this up for so long, and to have it wrapped up in 6 episodes, when we're used to a season of 16, it just feels underwhelming, especially because we have this untitled crossover series coming up, and we have all of these loose ends and all of these various shows, and it just, I don't know, man, it just felt rushed like the series finale of the original show felt rushed. We had these climbing walkers we set up for so long, even less time than that, but that felt unsatisfying because we had these climbing walkers. They were this huge threat. They breached the walls. Oh my God, how are they going to deal with this? It's over and done in like 5 minutes. And that's pretty much what happens here, except for a storyline has such higher stakes. And we had so much potential for that Commonwealth versus CRM storyline, huge war that really, I don't know, it's just, and Major Beal was barely in the episode. I mean, this guy, this Epsilon briefing, we've been setting up for so long. This meeting, this knowledge, what are we going to learn? And it's basically just stuff we always knew. And then, you know, we're wasting an amazing actor, Terry O'Quinn. He was in this show for a grand total of, what, like 15 minutes maybe? I don't know, man. Agreed. I thought the CRM would go on a lot longer. Jeremy, great to see you. Thanks for coming out. But now I'm wondering if the next series will be other CRM people or just the hordes. So that's one other thing I wanted to get into, is maybe it's not really over. Maybe they wanted this, maybe they, I don't know, thought that they weren't going to get a season 2 or something, so they wanted to complete the story arc. But maybe it's just to tease us. We think everything's okay, and then we find out that there's actually multiple factions within the CRM, and people are left over, people are, you know, trying to get things going. Maybe there's a splinter group that splits off. Maybe it's not over. Maybe some loyalists to Beal end up taking over again. Who knows? We don't know a lot about the interior of the CRM. We don't know how they operate. We don't know how their society is run. It might be, you know, obviously the impression they want you to give is that it's over. you know, that they're now going to be very helpful and they're going to send supplies everywhere. But that's one thing, they might be bled dry by that. Maybe Beale ends up being right in that this group then starts losing resources and then a new group forms trying to take some of that control back because they give away so many resources. They end up fulfilling his prophecy here that they are not going to be sustainable. Maybe it ends up being like he's right, and the next show is like, okay, the CRM is about to fail, so people start using Beale's tactics again. It might not be over. Also, no Morgan. Guess Lenny really is done for good. I don't know about that. I think they're gonna try to get him back. It's possible Lenny James just doesn't want to do it again. But usually, when an actor comes out and says, "Oh, I'm not gonna come back unless it's a really good story," it usually means one or two or three things. One is, it's really how he feels. Two is he's negotiating for a higher paycheck, which is the most likely one in my opinion. Or three is it's misdirection because they've already come to an agreement. And it's already happening, but they can't say it's happening yet. It's one of those three things. 2 and 3 are the most likely, in my opinion. Have you seen Daryl Dixon Season 2 teaser? Yes, I have it pulled up. We're going to take a look at it. I understand a trailer is going to be coming out as Parrish is dropping here. So I don't know if it's going to be posted online while I'm on stream. If it is, definitely let me know. I'll look it up. But yeah, we're going to take a look at that teaser. Which I hope everyone in the chat is subbed to. Oh yeah, please sub if you like this content. Hope to see you around. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. So you're telling me Maggie could have asked the new CRM for help. Why and how does Dead City exist? Yeah, that's right, because they are ahead in the timeline, right? That's how it worked out. So that would be kind of funny. It would be kind of ironic. I mean, she left the Commonwealth when the big bad in the Commonwealth was ousted, and now Ezekiel's like the governor. So she should really just have stayed there, because it's probably pretty tight. Eric says, right, we saw through 2 seasons of World Beyond, and it ended in 6 episodes. I know, we sat through so much of that show, and they just were breadcrumbing us this whole time about all the things, everything we wanted to see in that show was like the zombie experiments. Like, we wanted to see, what is Major Beale up to? He was set up as a character in that. He was hinted at, and they even have his son as a major character in that show. And Terry O'Quinn in this show, before he gets killed off, doesn't even get star billing. He is called a guest star. It's honestly kind of absurd when you think about it. I think they really did have like 3 movie scripts, and they didn't change it at all. They kept the same pacing for 3 movies, and it's 6 episodes of TV, but really it's just 3 movie scripts. That's what it feels like. And so much of this episode kind of feels like padding. I'm cutting between the scenes with Rick and Michonne, and I don't know. I get what they were going for, but it does feel a little underwhelming. If this was just like a big cliffhanger and then they came back and it was something, I feel a little different. I know the briefing was the extinction plan, never believed in the cure. That's another thing about the Epsilon briefing, right? So he has, the only information we really get is, there's millions of zombies out there. Which, okay, sure. Why does that connect to having to destroy Portland? If anything, it's like they're going to end up getting destroyed anyway. Why do we have to take them out? It doesn't explain that to me. It doesn't explain that to me. And I guess it's the same World Beyond explanation with killing Omaha. They were like, they're draining our resources, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I would have liked to see that spell out, though. A lot of people didn't watch that show either, so people are probably just left hanging a little confused. I would have CRM spies frame Commonwealth for atrocities against the CRP or CRM if I was writing it. That's a good idea, Brian. I think that the spies has a lot of potential, and they might be trying to do something with that. I kind of assumed when he was saying that he was going to reveal that he already knows about Alexandria, and he kind of maybe hinted at that when he offered Rick, like, hey, the people you love, we're not going to attack. That was like his last-ditch effort to try to get Rick on his side. And he's like, hinting maybe, he's got spies everywhere. I think the implication there is that they know about Alexandria already. Especially because they had deals with Jadis there. So they know she's connected with people in the area, right? If Beale was played by Dominic Purcell, he wouldn't have lost to Rick. Who's Dominic Purcell again? That name sounds familiar, but I'm not sure who that is, to be honest. You watched Parish, good first episode. I do plan on checking it out, taking a look at it. I did just cancel my AMC Plus subscription though. That is the problem, and also finding time to watch stuff. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I love Giancarlo Esposito, amazing actor. I want to check it out. You say it's a good first episode? I gotta take a look at it. Brian says, my friend Walker Dead Phoenix is planning on doing a real CRM Infinity War Endgame in his rewrites. Yes, he came on stream a few months ago and was telling me about his rewrites. And yeah, that sounds good. But again, I will leave the asterisk that maybe that is the plan and this is just a stopgap along the way. And they wanted to give us an ending that felt very rushed, but they wanted to give us something in case they didn't actually get to fulfill that plan. You know, who knows what's going on at AMC? They're trying to shop around and get sold right now, so or at least a few years ago, that was the scuttlebutt, is that they were looking for a buyer. So who knows, if they get bought, who knows what the new owners are going to do. So does this really mean Maggie ditches everyone after Rick came back? Dang. I want to say it happened before that. I want to say that she didn't really want to be a part of the Commonwealth, and she left before. Was she in the flash forward at the end of the show? I don't think she was. I think she left before that. Great acting and explosion. I did love the explosion. Let's get that on screen because that was awesome. And seeing the CRM zombies was cool. There's a lot of cool stuff in this episode. I mean, the acting is always great. I touched on in my review the fact that it was too easy. Really, the big problem for me is this was too easy. That's what I mean when I say that they could have done more with the storyline. If they did it in this many episodes, fine, but they didn't really take full advantage. And really, it just doesn't feel like a huge military when they can easily break into the munitions and blow it up. They can steal all these grenades. They can break into there with the biggest summit ever. Everybody's here. You know, they break into their facilities, no problem. It was a problem with the previous spin-offs when they showed the CRM. They made them look ineffectual. They did this on World Beyond. They had little girls taking out fully trained soldiers. And they did this in Fear as well. People getting taken down too easily. So, I don't know. I guess the CRM needs Portland's... you know what? Why don't I pull up... Should I pull up the chat on screen? Would that help? I can pop out chat here and pull it up on the screen so you guys can see what I'm reading. But what were you saying? I guess the CRM needs Portland's... I mean, the resources, according to Beale, the resources are going away. They have 14 years, which 14 years for what? 14 years of supplies? 14 years before zombies take over everything? Like 14 years before what? That's what... I didn't get that. You know, there's something missing there, and I get they want to be a little vague, but okay. So there it is on the screen there, and I actually want live chat so I can see everybody, including the people swearing at me. Okay, so you guys can see on the screen now. Does this really mean? Nope, we read that already. World Beyond didn't matter. No Silas, and wasn't Iris bringing the Portland army? Yeah, there were scientists that had information that could reveal the CRM's secret plans. And that was another thing with this episode, is like we did not see them gather any evidence. And, you know, obviously they took a lot of notes of everything, right? Like they had paperwork, definitely. But we didn't see Rick and Michonne collect that stuff. And to me, from the outside looking in, if you're part of the CRM community, you would probably trust the military. And you would probably be falling for their propaganda. And you would probably assume Rick and Michonne are terrorists because that's kind of how it looks. You know, everybody's dead. They're the ones that are protecting everybody. I would think it would be hard to get people on their side, which is why they should have, earlier in the season, had people on the Civic Republic side, the citizens, start to question what their military is about. They should have started trying to leak stuff. You know, if we're going to rush it in 6 episodes, we got to be setting up more stuff. Thank you for answering my many questions. Of course, man, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to chat with you guys. So do you think... Carol said Rick came back to Daryl now. Yeah, I mean, now it does look like that, yeah. I mean, it would make sense. I guess so. I guess that answers it. Or it still could be Morgan. It depends. I'm not exactly sure. They're very vague with timelines because it's more convenient for them, which I understand. But I'm not sure if Daryl Dixon takes place before this show or after this show. Hard to say. If it's before this show, it's Morgan, most likely. If it's after this show, it is Rick. So yeah, it very well could be Rick, Eric. Thank you for the question. She was in the Flash Forward where we see New Hilltop. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess something happened. I forgot about that. It's been a while since I watched the finale. It was easy. They were taking so long tying up the grenades, and no one caught. I know, dude. Jeremy, you're so right. It's like, what there should be. I know it's a military, and they have high stakes to get in, but there should be cameras everywhere. Every single movement should be logged. This is why I didn't really buy Jadis just going AWOL. You know, like everybody should be watching everybody else. It should be a surveillance state. If you're going for the authoritarian thing, and Beale's talking about no more freedom, you gotta go all in on that. You know, and you gotta have a community where they would never leave these bombs unguarded ever. I know they supposedly trust everybody, but you got to ensure that trust somehow, right? Am I right? Brian, thanks for coming out. Really appreciate you hanging out and asking so many questions. Definitely appreciate you, man. And everybody check out his channel because he does live streams about the very same topics I do. I hope Daryl Dixon season 2 is better. See, that's the thing is these 5 episodes, the first 4 episodes especially, the best Walking Dead we've gotten since probably like season 9 of the original show, in my opinion. I thought it was phenomenal. It elevated the rest of the show. How it ended soured it a little bit for me. And it's kind of like Dead City. Dead City wasn't as good, but the first 4 episodes were great. And then it fell apart in the last 2. So I don't know if they have this thing where like the first 4 episodes are going to be good and then the last 2 episodes shit the bed. That's kind of what it feels like right now. Although, ultimately, I haven't given it a score this episode. I'd probably stick with a 7. And that's the same score I gave the series finale, the original show. I think I'm going to stick with that. The rest, episode 1 through 4, I give a 9, maybe a 10. Episode 5, maybe like a 7 or 8 as well. But it was less disappointing. Like, there were some issues with that episode. I talked about them. It's the same, like, coincidences and easily getting out of situations and all that stuff, you know. But I don't know. Is that a thing? Like 4 episodes are good and then the last 2 aren't going to be good? But Daryl Dixon, I felt like Daryl Dixon stayed pretty good the whole time. Although it is kind of a similar thing where it had some cracks show at the end. But not to the same degree though. But I'm thinking that Daryl Dixon season 2 is going to be good. I'm excited for it. And season 2 was written before season 1 was released. So they've had that in the can. Hopefully it's polished. Hopefully it was good. I have a good feeling about it. I'm excited. I saw the trailer for Daryl. It looks good, but won't really know till we watch. Is it available on YouTube? Let me check and see if we can pull it up, because we can watch it together. I just have to be careful because they always block these trailers for some reason. But yeah, let me know if I can see it on YouTube or any other platform. We can look at the trailer that somebody posted. I don't know who this is, but somebody posted it. We'll take a look at it. Let's go ahead and switch over to this screen, and let's hide the chat for a second. Window capture, this one? Yes? Okay. So we are going to play this really quick. It's a little quiet, so I'm going to have to turn up the audio here.
Tell me a story.
There was this guy. He left home looking for something, and he couldn't get back.
You guys hear that or no? Yeah, I think this looks good. You saw it on AMC, so I don't know if it's going to be posted online by the time we're still streaming. But yeah.
Daryl Dixon, he's the only family I have left.
So Carol is talking to somebody, and I've seen the trailer already, and she says that she's asking somebody to come along with her, and she's like, Daryl's my only family, will you come with me? And I'm guessing that it's we got some new characters. And that's the other thing that kind of frustrates me, just to go on a tangent for a second. We need new characters, really, and they created a lot of great characters in this season of the ones who live. You know, we had Nat, we had Beale, even Thorne, you know, and Okafor. All these great characters, and they're all gone instantly. And, like, we should have had somebody left, you know. Everybody who was new died, pretty much. Everybody who mattered. Now Carol's got a crossbow. What the hell?
France.
So I love the locale.
Come with me.
Daryl Dixon.
Could you guys hear that okay?
The Book of Carol. Stay tuned.
Is that the same trailer they showed on AMC, Eric? I mean, it says here, stay tuned for a sneak peek. But any new, like, plot information? So I'm guessing that we're not going to see the reunion between Carol and Daryl until the end, because it looks like we're going to get a season of Carol's journey to France, you know, or at least an episode or two. Got some Blue Moon, by the way. But yeah, if it is posted anywhere, actually, I do have a group chat here. Let me turn this back to the other episode. But I'm going to check. I got to walk into a group chat that I'm in, and I feel like people would post it if it was there. You thought Thorne would live. I was kind of hoping she'd end up finally going home. Yeah, that's what you'd hope, right? I mean, part of that is, like, the tragedy. So, oh, here it is. I think we got it. Oh, no, it's that's the one we just played. Yeah, I was hoping for the same thing, but I get the tragedy of not being able to go back home. But they kind of made, like, she got convinced by this Epsilon briefing, and I didn't find it persuasive. So I'm really curious why she was so enthralled with it. And maybe she saw something we didn't. But yeah, I was kind of hoping that somebody would live. Thorne wasn't my favorite this season. Probably, like, Nat or Okafor or Beale would be the ones I was more interested in. But Thorne was cool, too. Definitely an important character in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, that's just... I thought she would too. Dude, her dialogue at the end, I mean, all the dialogue in this episode was kind of like on the nose, like thematic storytelling. Like they're just saying what the theme of the show is, and the love thing at the end was just very cringeworthy. And I saw a lot of talk, I didn't talk about this in my review, but a lot of people were talking about, oh, they're just in a random field, Judith and RJ are on their own. And I get that. It's definitely like, where are they? Feels a little displaced. But, you know, maybe we zoom back and there's other people in the background. But, you know, they can't get every cast member for one scene, right? Imagine Rick sees Negan again. That would be cool. I feel like that's going to happen in the crossover series, right? See, I thought something big was going to happen. I thought all the rumors before this came out, none of them were true, okay? Everybody was like, oh, Michonne's going to die. Oh, Rick's going to die. The leaks say that Rick dies at the end. Oh, that's why I don't listen to any of that stuff. Because none of that came true at all. Except for the hand thing, but I think that was just a coincidence. Because what's funny is people were getting that from a trailer that showed Rick with his hand still. You know, it looked weird though, but he had the tether in the first episode. People see that shot of him killing a zombie, and they thought his arm was gone, but really it was just tethered. So what's funny is that rumor started with the shot of him still with his hand on. Like one scene, he still has his hand in this show. I thought that was funny. You heard the trailer. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Yeah, should have had a lot more detail and evidence. There's no way they'd survive without killing Portland in order for them to win her over. Yeah, it had to be data. It had to be video footage. It had to be like all this stuff that we really needed to fully convince. And I don't get what was so bad about Portland. What is going to happen in Portland? Maybe what would have done it for me is, oh, Portland, there's a new zombie variant that is worse than any other zombie variant. So we can't let it spread. We got to contain it. You know, it's a failed thing. And it wouldn't tie in with Beale's whole, like, we can't bomb the cities thing. You know, that he fought that civil war over, supposedly. Let's bring the chat on screen again. Let's put it under the overlay. Would love to see them together again. Rick, Carol, Daryl, Maggie, Gabriel, the whole crew. Exactly. they know we want to see that. They're not going to give it to us until they're done for real. And the reason for that is because once we see that, it's like, okay, well, I guess we're done. And they did this with the show itself. When they kept splitting everybody up and they would have reunions again, they know that the essence of storytelling is withholding. You know, you want to have this thing that the audience needs to see, but you can't give it to them right away, because if you do, that satisfies the itch and it's done. There's no reason to keep watching. It's another example would be the show Castle. If you guys watch it, it's just like a cop show, but there's these two lead characters. You got the detective, and you got the crime writer. He's a writer who now consults with the police, and they do mysteries. They solve mysteries. They had this whole will they, won't they thing, the whole series, and then they eventually hooked up, and then the show kind of sucked after that, because it's like, okay, well, I guess we got what we wanted out of it, you know what I mean? You think Beale's son will be the one who kills Rick. See, somebody said that earlier in this stream, and that I took it as kind of a meme, but they might do it, though, because, spoiler alert for the comics, for people who haven't read them, but in the comics, Rick dies in the second to last issue. He gets killed by Sebastian, right? Sebastian Milton. He gets killed by the son of the leader that he didn't kill her, but he took her out of power. You know, and he gets mad, kills Rick, and Rick dies in a bed, like how he starts the comic, in a bed, in a hospital bed, full circle, blah, blah, blah. They could very well do the same thing, except with Mason, but here's the thing with that. They know that World Beyond was not the most successful show. They know most Walking Dead fans didn't watch that. So they would have to establish this guy as a character in a new show, and I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think that they really want to bring back any of the characters from that show. It didn't really resonate. Nobody really, by and large, it has its fans, of course, but World Beyond did not really resonate, and it didn't connect with people. The ratings were low. Most people didn't watch it. So, therefore, I don't think that they're going to do that, because it would be very anticlimactic. And honestly, it was kind of anticlimactic to begin with. But yeah, so let's take a look at, let's see if there's any trailers for the Book of Carol. I don't think that there is. But yeah, any other questions or concerns you guys have? I feel like I've talked a lot about this episode, but I guess we could just talk about some more things that I liked about it. So I did like the brutality of it. You know, they kind of lost that over time, and it's because it's simply, we get numb to it after a while, and that's just the truth. I do like them bringing back Rick to be a hero. You know, he has this question of should we stay or should we go? Michonne's the one kind of leading the way throughout most of the season, and Rick, you know, he makes the decision to leave it up to her, basically. You know, he basically says, I think we could go back. Do you want to do that? But together, they take it as their mission. They want to help people. So I love Rick's arc this season. Overall, though, I'm happy because I'm not seeing any more shows. We will get Rick and Michonne being reunited with their kids was worth it for me. Yeah, and that's what makes me think, you know, maybe we won't see Rick and Michonne again for a while, because that withholding thing that I mentioned, they tend to withhold until they're done, you know? So I don't know, maybe we won't get a season 2. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like the ratings were there. I didn't really check the cable ratings, but let's actually look that up right now. I'm curious. Jada, you mean Jadis was the real villain, the ones who live? Yeah, that's fair. Beale was barely in the show. That was kind of a disappointing thing. I mean, we had this great actor. Loved Rick beating that guy's face in. I agree, dude. It was brutal. It was brutal. I loved the blood spatter on the wall and all that. It was definitely a good, satisfying scene. I mean, we want to see some brutality in the show. It's a horror show, quintessentially. And I love the explosion And they had good CGI in this episode, you know, to my taste anyway. I love the shot of pulling Beale out of this container. It kind of reminded me of Negan kind of doing the same thing with, you know, obviously Sasha. He did that with Sasha. They kind of did that in a first-person view as well. But yeah, I wanted to look up The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live ratings. Let's see what ratings we got. I'm really curious how the show did rating-wise. Let's see. Set a viewership record, best premiere viewership in 6 years. Actually, you know what? Wikipedia usually has this pretty well. Let's see. I don't know. I wanted this show to really bring back The Walking Dead, and I think it did with hardcore fans, and definitely brought some people back that haven't watched it in a while. But I don't know. I don't know if it's in the zeitgeist in the way I wanted it to be. Yeah, I mean, we're looking at cable ratings of under 1 million viewers. Now, granted, I'm assuming most people are streaming at this point. And the thing with a show like this is a lot of people are going to do piracy. So how many people are actually watching it? It could be in the millions. But on cable, people viewing it the night it airs is under 1 million now, which is kind of sad. But I think that's just cable's going away. But then again, AMC Plus is not the most popular streaming service because the only like must-have marquee franchise that they really have is definitely The Walking Dead. Now they have other stuff on there as well, stuff that I like. You know, I love Shudder. I think Shudder does good stuff, but that's one thing. You know, I don't know. Are these ratings good enough for AMC? I don't know what they're looking at, how much revenue they're getting from the streaming. I remember reports of them being disappointed with their success of their streaming service. They're not having any success in finding a buyer. But, you know, I don't know. What do you guys think? Gimple said in multiple interviews it would be 6 episodes and 1 season. No, he was very vague about if there's going to be a season 2. He said, I don't want to give away what happens. We'll have to see. You know, he was definitely not... you can't take him at face value because he's usually obfuscating. So, now, if he said that before the show aired, I didn't see it. I think that they're definitely playing fast and loose. You know, they're not showing their hands. So we got definitely a lot of articles about it. I'm curious to see, like, I mean, they posted the first episode on YouTube, and I'm curious what kind of ratings that got. You know, so here, let's take a look at videos. The first episode got 1.4 million views. So that's not bad, but then it's like, you know, I don't know if they're getting ad revenue on that, but it still feels low for having the first episode of the show be free on YouTube. 1.4 million. I mean, there's like Voice Critical gets that on the daily. You know what I mean? So I don't know. What are you guys thinking? But yeah, I don't know if there's more things you guys want to look at. Let's see if this guy has posted the new trailer yet. Okay, so we got screenshots from the trailer. We got behind the scenes stuff. I would love to see some of the behind the scenes featurettes. I hope that they have something on the DVD. The DVDs lately have been like, oh, here's a Comic-Con panel that you've all seen already, and here's some trailers. Like, I want to see all the featurettes like how they had originally. I want to see behind the scenes footage. We can't play too much of this, but I love this blood stuff. I love this stuff with the fog. I mean, it looked cool. It's inconsistent with the second episode, how we had the fog there. You know, Michonne was there and it fucked her up for months. But then we have Rick without a mask for a while. They're just under this curtain thing and they somehow survive the blast. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's just like kind of silly when you think about it critically. But, you know, I've seen it, but you're right, it's all about success. Yeah, I don't know what they're pulling in, and that's the thing with streaming services is most of them are trying to hide their numbers. So they'll tell us, oh, it broke a record for, our streaming service, our biggest premiere ever, blah blah, but they won't tell us the low points, right? They're only going to tell us stuff that makes them look good. They wouldn't tell us, for example, oh, only half the people that started the show ended up finishing it. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case, but I'm saying it could be. We did find out little nuggets about like the Rings of Power show on Amazon. Like apparently only 30% of people finished it that actually started it. So, and we got the love doesn't die thing. Should we laugh at that?
In a dead world, love is dead.
It just did it not feel like an episode of a soap opera or something in that moment? Me too. I love seeing behind the scenes and bloopers. Yeah, I'm addicted to that stuff. I mean, it's one of the reasons I went to film school in the first place is because I loved watching that stuff. And really, these behind the scenes featurettes, when they're good, are some of the best film school you can get. Because it's the directors themselves. Like Frank Darabont's commentary on the first episode will teach you so much about filmmaking. What is real, what is CGI, what is practical, what is not. The fact that, that first scene in the car with Rick and Shane, they filmed that on a soundstage, but it's not green screen. They took a photo of the location and blew up the photo, printed it out, and put it blurred out in the background. That's how they did that. Like, that's the kind of thing you learn listening to that. And if you love that kind of thing, you're gonna be interested in filmmaking. Negan is trending right now. I think the worst part of the episode was seeing Negan's face. Why are we talking about Negan right now? I don't know. So how long until Negan dies? Never, dude. Please don't. I can't believe people started shipping Maggie with Negan's wife again. Why? What is wrong with people, dude? Why do you always? Why do people always have to make it weird? And also, she's dead, so that's just not even understandable. And also, Maggie, I don't think she's interested in women. I'm sorry, Negan fine with that smile of his, but I still hate him. Why is it trending? I don't know. I don't understand Twitter. I don't use it, so. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on. Welcome back, Negan. This guy in House of the Dragon is going to be the new Negan. Yeah, he's got a bat, it looks like. So I don't know why this is trending right now. I'm a little concerned. Let's refresh to see if we got the trailer yet. But yeah, I'm thinking they're gonna hold off on posting the trailer until like later tonight. We can search to see if somebody's got it. The Walking Dead. Daryl Dixon Season 2 trailer. Let's see. Oh, here we go. No, that's 5 months ago. Recent? Tonight? Maybe? Variant Walkers and Beale's Spy Breakdown. Should we watch other videos from other content creators? I've never done that on here. Wow, that first episode of The Walking Dead. Outstanding TV. The best pilot ever. I love that. I mean, it's up there with like Breaking Bad. There's other greatest shows of all time. Like Game of Thrones first 5 seasons were one of the best shows of all time. That first episode is not as good as the first episode of Walking Dead, as the first episode of Breaking Bad. There's some times where it just clicks right away and you're like, wow, amazing. But yeah, that's one question I have. People are talking about it here. Where are the variants? That's a very good question. Where is... The CRM don't even seem to know about them, right? I mean, the scientists never talked about it in World Beyond. Obviously, it's because the writers hadn't come up with that idea yet. But there's... Oh, here's a new teaser. Let's see. This might be the one that we watched already. Yeah. Let's see if TW Clips, you got the goods, bruh? I don't think so. But yeah, it's weird that they don't know about it. And maybe they do, but we just didn't hear any discussions of it. I wonder, what do you guys think was the reason behind not using them this season? Not really using them in Dead City. Like, we introduced it in the finale, in the last 8 episodes. We had the variant walkers. We had the fast zombies that aren't actually variant walkers. They're just juiced up on some, like, steroids. they retconned that from World Beyond. So I don't know, like, what is going on with that? I'm a little confused. During the Echelon briefing, I thought Beale would mention variants. Yeah, because I don't even know that Michonne and Rick know about it. Like, it would be new information to them, right? And that's something, again, I said before, the variant thing could be a good reason. Like, Portland needs to go down, and not with these chemical bombs. Like, we're going to bomb the shit out of Portland because there's these variants that are the most strong and dangerous, like Resident Evil style zombies. We're screwed if they get out into the public. We can't do it. Probably too expensive to do fast zombie CGI. You think so? You think so? I mean, is it more expensive than what they're doing right now? I mean, they did do a couple in Daryl Dixon, though. It could be. It could just come down to it takes all day to shoot those scenes. My opinion is they don't want to spend money. Okay, Eric agrees with Jeremy here. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that is it. But then again, guys, the first movie, 28 Days Later, that was a very low-budget movie. Like, half of the budget of that movie was blowing up the gas station in that one scene at the beginning of the movie. They had fast zombies that whole movie. It did not cost a ton of money. So, I don't know if it's money. I think it's like, we want these shows to stand on their own. I think somebody might have gotten in Scott's ear, like, yo, it's kind of a gimmick. And this is stuff I was saying when they announced it. Like, I thought it was cool. But I was like, it's a little bit of a gimmick. And it's a little bit desperate to just sprinkle in new zombies in absence of having a storyline that's engaging the fans. So maybe somebody got in their ear and they're like, okay, we're not going to do it in Dead City because we want that to stand on its own. Okay, we'll do it in Daryl Dixon because we already said in World Beyond we're going to do it. And I don't know, maybe. But they retconned World Beyond. Have they ever done a retcon before? Have you seen Godzilla vs. Kong? I'm honestly, like, not very interested. The new one, you mean? No, I haven't. I'm not that interested in it because -1 was, like, a masterpiece. And if it's not on that level, I don't know. I just can't do it. Yeah, they know we love fast zombies. It really ups the stakes so much. So why else would they not? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense because, I don't know. But that's the thing is, at the end of the day, Walking Dead is slow Romero-style zombies. It really fundamentally changes it if you switch it to all the zombies are going to be fast now. You would have to use it sparingly. And I think that's why they did the juiced up zombie thing instead of, like, the variants, like when they introduced it in World Beyond. Maybe that's why. But like I said, with 28 Days Later, independent film definitely didn't have the budget that Walking Dead has. They probably had the budget of, like, one of these episodes for that. But yeah, I mean, it definitely ups the stakes so much, and we've had zombies for so long. We see zombies shamble in, we're like, oh, they're just gonna wipe them out, and it doesn't even phase us at this point. They have to get really creative with the zombie gags to get us to go like, whoa, that was nuts. And they did do a little bit of that this season, to their credit. They had the turnstile zombie. I love the turnstile zombie, just like getting eviscerated by the turnstile. They had a couple things. Love 28 Days Later. Yeah, man, so good. Did you know they're making a new one 28 years later or something? And they're bringing back the writer from the first one, I think. Or, I don't know. Bringing back somebody. What is your worst movie you've seen? Ooh, I mean, The Room is objectively just absolutely awful. But it has entertainment value because of how terrible it is. Worst movie... I mean, that's definitely up there. There's objectively bad movies like Neil Breen. There's stuff like on that level. The worst, like, Hollywood quality movie that I saw was probably Silent Hill Revelations. I was so frustrated with that movie. And they completely destroyed the main character of Heather. And it was just awful the whole way through. So if I had to pick one... Like, I watched that full thing. A lot of times, if a movie's that bad and frustrates me that much, I will just turn it off. I watched that full thing because I'm a Silent Hill fan. I needed to see it. I didn't go to theaters, thankfully. I just watched it on Netflix. But, dude, it was terrible. Avatar The Last Airbender is the worst I've ever seen. I've heard lots of bad things about that. And I haven't watched the original cartoon yet. So I want to watch that before I corrupt myself of any of the adaptations. So I didn't watch. I was thinking about trying to binge the animated series to review the Netflix thing, but that already came and went. So I don't know. Maybe I'll pick it up when they do season 2 or something. They don't all have to be fast, so they could be able to use weapons or super strong, can communicate just different things. I strongly reject using weapons. And it's not like we've had zombies that do that in other things, you know, obviously like Resident Evil and like Day of the Dead and stuff like that. Oh, look, temperature rating. We're getting too hot, boys. But I strongly reject that in Walking Dead because I think it would make it a cheese fest. And the thing with Walking Dead is it's not a B movie. It's like the concepts of a B movie, but done in a serious, dramatic way. And once you get too silly, you're just gonna lose it. So I don't know. We did have them holding weapons. They had knives, so you can do it. So they would have the climbing zombies. Like I don't know. It would have to be like they grab the knife and then incidentally like they'd have to do it somewhat different. But as far as like guns and shit, I don't know. I think that's a little silly. You should watch the original and do reviews. I'd rewatch it again with you. Avatar, I mean. I want to watch it at some point. I don't know about doing re-reviews. I've never tried that on that channel. It would be something to try. But I try to stay topical because a lot of my views come from people searching for things. So, but maybe it might be nice to mix in some what content creators call evergreen content, which is where like you can post it whenever and it's still relevant. So it might be good to dabble in some of that, but I don't know. I try to stick to new stuff for that reason because when it's new, it's in the search algorithm. It's, you know, as a small channel right now, I feel like I have to do that, but yeah, I don't know. Do I like the Last of Us series? I love the first game. The second game, I hated the story. It's not the big thing that happens. It's just that the new characters are just dull and unlikable and boring. I didn't like the writing. I thought it was sloppy. Gameplay is fine. I have no objections to the gameplay, other than they didn't really innovate that much. But that was fine with the formula before. So, didn't like the second game, basically. The show came out, it's okay. I think it's a lesser version because, like the ones who live here, they rushed it a bit. They tried to cram a full, like, 2 seasons worth of story into 9 episodes. And they wasted 2 of those episodes, in my opinion, on side stories. I like episode 3, but that's a side story when we should be, at the beginning of the show, setting up the relationship between Joel and Ellie. The other big problem is the casting for Ellie. Ellie's not as likable. Ellie's supposed to be somebody you instantly... Like, I care about that person and want them to do okay. She's a bratty teenager in the show. Didn't work as well. They added some new lore and stuff, but we didn't need that. We needed characters. We needed that. The best things about the show are direct adaptations from the game, and the game did it better. So, I like the show. It's not bad. That's just my opinion on it. I did reviews for every single episode, so if you want to check that out. I currently right now have no intention to review season 2 because you know my bias. I already don't like it. They said they're gonna do a faithful adaptation. I'm not gonna like it. But if you guys want me to watch it, knowing that in advance, I will consider it definitely. I'm not gonna enjoy it, but I will. I go in with an open mind. Maybe they'll do it better. Maybe I'll like it more. I don't know. I just gotta say I gotta feel bad for is it Caitlin Dever? Is that her name? That's playing Abby. I gotta feel bad for her because she's gonna be very hated. You're right. I love being right. I don't know what I'm right about though. So I think we pretty much covered everything. Appreciate everybody coming out. We're gonna check for this trailer one last time. See if it's up here yet. Scott Gimp. Ooh, we got juicy stuff. We got something to cover. We're going to stay on. Okay, Scott Gimple on the future of Rick and Michonne in the Walking Dead universe. Let's go. I wonder where they're getting this from. I'd love to read this full article. It was a wild ride to make the ones who live, he notes. It was like it was like 6 years of a lot of hoping and pivoting and working. Yeah, because the plans changed a lot. Because there was going to be movies, and then pandemic happened, everything went on hold, and then they reevaluated, and then Universal didn't want to do the movies. I'm assuming. We don't know that for sure. And when it was all said and done, it didn't eventuate, interesting word, the way I thought it would. It eventuated so much better. And finale aside, I agree. It exceeded my expectations for most of it. So when it comes to telling more of the Rashon's story, that's possible. He's being vague again. This fucking guy, dude. I love Scott. I'm not gonna hate. I know he has his haters. I like Scott. I respect the man. But god damn it, dude, he has perfected being cryptic and not answering a damn question, which is his job. So, as for the ones who live, potentially being the last fans we'll see of those star-crossed lovers, I doubt it. Gimple is hoping that it's not the case. Of course, it's not up to him fully. It's, you know, the higher ups at AMC, everything going on. If they're smart, it won't be the end, but who knows? Maybe the show didn't bring in enough revenue, and Rick and Michonne are very expensive. I'm sure they had a pay raise this season, you would assume, especially considered they're credited as co-creators of the show. That means they get a percentage. So the show might be too expensive. I don't know. And I have all sorts of dreams of what we could do next. Right now, they're just plans, just fan fiction. But we'll have a very good track record of dreams coming true. Gimple is excited for the future of The Walking Dead and notes that he's enjoyed the unexpected swings the franchise has taken recently with series like Dead City, extra Daryl, extra R in Daryl, Daryl Dixon. I actually like that better. Daryl Dixon, and The Ones Who Lives. Yet looking forward, he's interested in returning to the basics of this franchise. That is interesting. Franchise is spelled wrong, but I do think that that's interesting that they would end with that, because that sounds like they want to do a reset, which would tie in with the alternate ending that they filmed that I hope we get to see someday, that they basically originally had the series finale of the Walking Dead main ship show. They had a next generation of the Walking Dead kind of intro scene with RJ grown up, Judith grown up. Could happen. If they want to go back to basics, that would be a way to do it. So that was spicy and interesting. I wonder where he got that from. But yeah, so have I seen Insidious the Red Door? I've seen like the first two. They're okay. I heard that one wasn't too good. Do you like it? Should I watch it? There's like 5 of those movies. And they always do very well because they're cheap, you know? So let's see if anybody's got the goods. I think we're going to wrap it up here. Any final comments that anybody has? Let's see, trailer. I'm not seeing it. We could filter for recently uploaded. Let's see. Daryl Dixon? Is this it? No, it's freaking, I hate these videos where it's like, oh, here's the trailer, and then you click on it and it's just like AI explaining you the show. What are you doing? What is this one? Is this the one we already watched? No, that's the one from many months ago. Okay, I think we're striking out here. Maybe I'll turn off this website here and we'll look at the group chat real quick. See if anybody's got it. Yeah, I think we're done. Okay, so any final critiques or questions anybody has? I pretty much said everything between my review and this stream that I have to say. Overall, now that time has passed, you know, the episode was awesome to watch. I have my disappointments that its arc ended so quickly. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe this is just a stopgap. But it sounds like from that interview we just read that Gimple's not sure what is coming next. Now, he could just be doing his usual thing where he's being vague because nothing's for certain. He doesn't want to promise anything. Maybe there is stuff in the works, but I'm inclined at this moment to think that he's being straight with us and just saying AMC has to tell me what's happening because we want to do all these things. We have all these plans, but who knows? I don't know. I'm really rooting for it. I want a season 2 of this show, but they kind of killed it with killing off Beale and getting rid of the CRM as a villain. I don't know, maybe we'll get a new variant zombie that is the ultimate big bad in the end game of Walking Dead, but he says he wants to go back to basics, so I don't know. Does that mean a new show that starts at the outbreak again? I don't know. What would you guys even want to see? Is there a spinoff that hasn't happened yet that we really want? I mean, I would love to see all these characters again, but what is the story? I would love a Gabriel spinoff. What is the story there? I don't know. That's up in the air at this moment, but I'm hoping for the best. Looking forward to reviewing Dead City and Daryl Dixon season 2 in the summer. I'm assuming that Dead City season 2, they're shooting for a fall release, but who knows if we'll actually get that. It hasn't been announced. We haven't seen anything. It might get pushed to next year. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how filming is underway or anything, but I'm assuming that's coming out. You know, we already know that season 3 of Daryl Dixon is being worked on. It hasn't gotten a green light, but it's being worked on. So it's all up in the air. AMC not being straight with us right now, but that's pretty much all I got to say, guys, unless we got any final last minute comments. I appreciate everybody coming out here, and definitely check out my review if you want to see individual breakdowns of all the scenes. But I've already talked about everything, you know, the big disappointments with the storyline being over so quick, being a little bit rushed. A lot of the episode was padding with the flashbacks, and I kind of felt like it had that event feel. It had a great music, it had a great score, it had great acting, great moments in the episode. The brutality was cool. I love the explosion. A lot to like about this episode, but I have a bit of a want for more after it, especially now that I've had time to sit with it for a few hours. But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out on this Easter Sunday. And I might make this more of a regular thing on the channel where we live stream after a show premieres. I think we'll definitely do the next Walking Dead premiere. I'm thinking about doing like a live stream show, maybe a weekly, bi-weekly basis where we cover news topics, we look at trailers, we do reactions, the things I don't get to make videos about, or maybe we go deeper into the shorts that I make, things like that. Last minute, we got a question here from Zombie Killer King. What's up, man? My one and only mod right now. I appreciate you, man. General Beale was a disappointment. Yeah, he was barely in the show. They got a world-class, amazing actor, and they had him for like 4 scenes, and he wasn't even a star in the show. He was just a guest star, and I was hoping that he would be the Thanos of the Walking Dead universe, and he's dead already. It was cool, but not enough. Not enough. I thought it was an okay finale, had problems. I'm with you. 7 out of 10 was the score I gave it. It was a good watch, but it was disappointing in the overall scheme of the story, and a lot of it was rushed, and there was definitely realism issues with them surviving an explosion, breathing, like all that stuff, and the CRM not being this highly guarded facility, like how they're able to get around, like all this stuff. I wanted more. I wanted more, and that's what I end with. Maybe tomorrow I'll be even more negative. Like, I guess Alexandria is safe now. I really sincerely thought, what does that mean with the helicopter in the Gabriel scene from last week? Like, we saw a helicopter. I thought they were implying there that there was some sort of, like, helicopter CRM, helicopter coming to get them. I thought we were going to get a cliffhanger where all the CRM is here at the Commonwealth, or whatever it was going to be. Sorry, the camera shut off. But yeah, I guess Alexandria is safe. I don't know. It sounded like Major Beale might have known about it, but I guess the bad guys are done. So, I don't know. That's where I think we're going to leave it today. I'll do one last check to make sure that this trailer isn't posted yet. We'll do another refresh here. But other than that, I think it's time to... Ooh, here it is. Okay. We just got it in, boys. We just got it. Let's go. Hang on. We're going to react to this real quick. I keep saying I'm going to go off, but I was just stalling because I want to see this. Okay. Hold on. I got to pause it because I'm a little concerned we might get the stream blocked with this. So I'm just going to pause it and chat for a second, but we're going to play it in a second here. But yeah, I thought that was awesome. Wait. Okay, hold on. Is this the trailer they showed on AMC, guys? So, were they trying to save these people, or did they just happen to be here? if their goal was to save these people, they were going to blow up the convoy with people they care about in the back. Or maybe it's just coincidence, you know, who knows. Warning, heads up, we detected video. Oh god, no, no, no. Scroll away, boys. Maybe temporarily blocked. Okay. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. So, Geralt chasing down Madame Genet. Okay, let me answer some questions here on the stream. I hope it's not blocked for you guys. Sorry, bubbles coming up my throat. Overall, how'd you feel about the whole season? I love the first 4 episodes. Episode 5 had its issues. I'm okay with the pacing of 1 through 4. A lot of people said that those episodes were rushed. I actually appreciated that they sped up the pace a little bit and that they were able to tell a bigger story. I love that. I think it was good. Episode 4 slowed things down, but it was a much-needed character episode. Episode 5 had a lot of the typical Walking Dead issues. We talked about that in my review. Episode 6 was rushed, and it's an end to the storyline I was hoping would continue on. But it sounds like maybe things are happening behind the scenes that they couldn't do more and they wanted to. I don't know. So that's my overall thoughts on the season. It's disappointing because I wanted more out of the CRM storyline. We didn't go deep enough into that, and I'm just a little disappointed with that. That's my overall feelings. EJ Wicks, Childhood Videos, please welcome Zombie Killer the King, the man who could take out a Rotter herd with a single katana. That is facts. That is facts. General Beale, he felt like another Pope. No. He was not on the level of Pope. I think he was better than that. But in the sense of being, like, underwhelming, I can see where you're at. I did like that Ricky reunited with Judith. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say that you didn't like that. I have my nitpicks about that scene, and a lot of people are talking about how, oh, they're just in some random field. Why aren't Judith and RJ, accompanied? Why is RJ's acting so bad? He's a kid. I'm not gonna go into depth on that. God dang, Daryl, when did you turn into a beast? I know, right? That was sick. I don't think we'll be getting a season 2. I know, as of right now, I'm tending to agree with you, but I'm thinking it's because it was so expensive. Honestly, I think the ratings were good by standards of this franchise up to this point, but it was such an expensive show, I'm assuming, especially with Andrew Lincoln and Denai getting creator credit, they're getting a percentage of everything. I'm assuming that they might not do a season 2 for financial reasons, which is a shame because I really wanted more. But the characters aren't dead, so I think we're still with the classic AMC. We're not going to kill anybody off just in case. I think that's the mode we're in right now. But yeah, looks like I didn't get blocked. We got the warning, so that's good. I'm glad it warns me beforehand. Ooh, new sneak peek. Okay. We got another sneak peek. I'm glad that we kept streaming and I didn't cut it off. So actually, we're gonna do it small. I hope that's okay. But if I do it small, then I might get away with it. So we're gonna have to pause it a lot, okay? So this is where Daryl got the free gas from, right? And Carol's showing up, chasing after where he was. We saw that in a previous trailer. Can somebody say if this is what was on AMC or not?
No.
That they aired on cable, that is. Again, I'm glad Alexandria is safe because I love that community. Me too, but I want some tension, man. I'm cool with a cliffhanger. Oh, shit. Alexandria's in the crosshairs, but I guess they can't really do that because the CRM is so big that if they wanted to wipe out Alexandria, it would happen so quick that nobody would know what to do. And if I could get back to Alexandria right now, I'd be like, bro, you guys gotta start building tunnels.
Buddy of mine got this bike from you guys. Thought maybe you could help fix it.
Okay, so she found, is that Daryl's bike? And now she's going back to the people that Daryl got it from or something?
You mixed lady? Yeah, well, I don't...
You mixed lady?
You mixed lady?
Is that what he said? You're mixed lady? She's like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know too much about bikes, so...
What about...
He's lying. He's lying.
About the guy that had it before Mick. Is he around? Maybe he can help.
She's asking for Daryl, but without saying that she's asking for Daryl.
Hey, guys!
You don't like the title for Daryl Dixon Season 2? It's a bit too much. Yeah, the whole Book of Carol thing. I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, they want to have it on the because they wanted this to be Daryl and Carol the show. So they're trying to say, like, hey, marketing, if you love Carol, come watch this show, please, because we need every viewer we can get.
I don't know who had that bike before Mick.
I'm with you. It's a little obtuse. There's, like, too many syllables. The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. But I think it's just going to be called Daryl Dixon Season 2. Like, The Book of Carol is just, like, a marketing. So that's how Carol gets it from the trailer.
Asshole.
Oh, warning. We got a warning. Am I blocked? Am I blocked? Dang it. Okay, we gotta talk about something else for a bit. I do wonder if we'll ever see Rick and Michonne again. It's an open question, but I think that they want to do it. But are we gonna get an actual show with them? I don't know. Okay, I thought I could get away with that, but we'll have to see.
Asshole or not, can he fix a transmission?
Can he fix a transmission?
Hell if I know.
Oh boy. Oh, let's go. Oh, there's so many guys around. They're gonna start shooting at her,
Don't
bro.
move. Keep your hands down.
Hands down.
Where's my friend?
She's done, bro. She's gonna get out of it somehow, but okay. That's a pretty good teaser. It's fun. Carol being reckless, but again, you know, it is Daryl we're talking about. They cut a Grimes family picnic. Yo, they had more to the scene. Wow, and we got all the crew here. They actually shot a family picnic and they cut it out. Wow, dude. I mean, they probably had a bunch more stuff in this episode that they cut out. Again, RJ acting just felt so stiff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he was ever very good, but he's a kid, you know, so I'm not going to talk too much crap. But they need to recast him when he's older, etc. Either that or maybe the kid will become a good actor as he grows up, but I don't know. I don't know what they saw in him, to be honest, so I don't know. So that's it. That's the teaser I was waiting to see before I cut the stream off. So any last minute questions before we go? How do you guys feel about them cutting out a family picnic? Delving deeper into the reunion would have been great. Why not have an extra 15 minutes in the show? Why not? You shot the thing already. Let's make it longer. Add another ad break. Why not? Why do we gotta cut stuff? I don't know. Maybe it was just kind of a cringe scene and they cut it for that. I don't know. Would have been cool if Dog was with Judith and RJ running up to Rick and Michonne. But Carol has Dog, right? Or where is Dog right now? I don't know. Kaylee Fleming's acting has been so great. Yeah, she was really good. And that's why, like, there's a pretty high bar for that reason. And, you know, I have some criticisms about how her character was written. But you guys already know that if you've watched all my videos. But yeah, she's been definitely way above par when it comes to child acting. It's hard to be a child actor, bro. And for multiple reasons, if you've seen Quiet on Set. But mostly just because it is a skill that needs to be learned over time. And you need practice. And if you're a kid, it's kind of hard. And it's also hard to direct a kid, give them instruction and all that. I just want more Dog. I hope he'll be in Daryl season 2. I would say almost definitely. If he's actually in the show, I have a feeling they want him in the show, but he wasn't there with Carol, right? But excuse me. Something tells me they're gonna at least tell us where Dog is. They're gonna have to. Definitely, like, Carol meets up with Daryl. Carol's like, "Hey, Dog's okay." Or Daryl asks, like, "What is up with Dog?" Yeah, I just wanted to check Scott Gimple's account to see if there's anything. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Just Judith says she'd watch Dog for Daryl in 11/24. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I guess I thought Carol said that, but I don't know. I haven't seen the finale in a while. I probably should watch it again, but I'm going through all the old seasons right now, so I don't know. We'll have to see if I have time for that. But yeah, anyways, thanks for hanging out, guys. This has been a fantastic stream. I want to do more of these, and definitely maybe we'll do like a roundtable discussion of the state of the Walking Dead universe or something down the line. But appreciate everybody hanging out. Dog, he's an iconic fan favorite. People love dogs, man. You know, what can you say? But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys want me to review next, if anything, if you got any ideas. Jeremy, thanks for hanging out, asking great questions. Appreciate you being in the stream, man. And yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out with me on this Easter Sunday. Happy Easter for the last time. Hope everybody had a great day today with their family and stuff. And back on that grind tomorrow. Back to work, everybody. When's your next stream, man? I don't know for sure, but it's probably just going to be a casual hangout stream. I don't know. I can't say for sure right now, but I'll definitely let you know when I figure that out. But anyways, appreciate everybody hanging out. And with that, it's been your boy Shuggy from Shook Earth Media. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next video.